Good morning. Hey, I hope you're off to an awesome start. Dr. James here. Thank you for your time and thank you for your energy. And this morning, I can't even start this. I can't even start this morning without cracking up because I just got an email. I had a plan this morning. I was going to do something on chocolate. You know, I had my chocolate props right here. This is my chocolate. And I was like, okay, let's talk about chocolate. And then divine orchestration, as it always does, spirit intervened and said, we're not talking about chocolate. We're talking about this condition that you were accused of this morning by a wonderful person he was an opportunity for my personal growth this morning, taking nothing personal, but taking it spiritual. So the email was basically this: what are you on and what is wrong with you? What are you on and what is wrong with you? You know what? It's interesting, right? We're living in a time where happiness or the pursuit of purpose, wanting to be the best versions of ourselves, is in contempt. Well, my friend who sent me that beautiful email, I scribbled out some things that I believe. You know what? I'm not alone. This community, I believe, is also on something and potentially suffering from the same condition that I am. And this condition is inverse paranoia. Inverse paranoia. So if you're watching today, this is for all of us. Have you ever, on this path, and you know, you're doing the work, you're deepening your love and your compassion for yourself, you're doing all you can to show up on the planet as a beneficial presence. You want to be light, you want to be loving, you want to be kind, you want to be generous, you want to be that person. And you know what? These days, that person is definitely, that person's an original. That person may even be in contempt of the status quo. But I got to tell you, how do I know that we are suffering? And I use that word with, actually the root of suffering is passion. How do I know that we're suffering with passion? These are 5 symptoms that I am experiencing every single day. And if you are too, I want to get a hallelujah, I want to get a kumbaya, I want to get a high five, I want to get a heart to heart. Yes, you're not alone, James, and please comment that way. Number 1, this is a symptom of delusional optimism. This is a symptom of inverse paranoia. It's delusional optimism. And you know what's beautiful about this? Studies show, very good studies from the Mayo Clinic, says if you want to fight inflammation, if you want to keep the heat down in your body, keep the cortisol down, keep your serotonin levels up, keep your motivation and your spirit wide awake and very positive, you want to be somewhat delusionally optimistic. It's actually an anti-inflammatory mindset, and I believe it's a heart set as well. Number 2, this is a symptom of inverse paranoia. You have something called irrevocable happiness. And you know what's interesting? Do you ever find yourself maybe at the beginning of your journey and every now and then you need something to happen that's really good, and then you give yourself permission to be happy? Well, you know what? Inverse paranoia doesn't need something to happen because life is happening, and we can look at life with a sense of gratitude. We can be present for all of it, the challenging stuff, the dark stuff, the loving stuff, the light stuff. That is irrevocable happiness. That is when we are happy for just being here and being present. That's a wonderful symptom of inverse paranoia. So number 3, you are intrinsically motivated. I love intrinsic motivation. I love the research behind it because you know what? On this journey that you and I have decided to embark on, this courageous, heart-centered path about growing the version that we want to be presenting to the world, understanding that we have to do it with a self-love and a level of self-compassion. This is about being perfect, about being a light. And in that experience of being a light, the engineering behind intrinsic motivation is simply this. You do the work on yourself, whether it's exercising, eating well, doing the work that you do, is coming from an idea that's bigger than you. It's not about getting rich. It's not about being hot. It's not about your ego. Intrinsic motivation is when you move from the little I to the great big I am here to serve. I am here to be a catalyst for greatness. I am here to be a beneficial presence on this planet. That is intrinsic motivation. The side effect may be success. You may be hotter. You may be cooler, and their ego may enjoy some of those things, but it's not our primary driver. We work on ourselves so we can be a better version so we can serve the planet. Number 4, we're the first to forgive. It simply means that we don't have to win when it's in relationship to working with other people. Someone did us wrong, said something that offends us. We can be the ones who first forgive so we don't carry that burden. That's a level of inverse paranoia that'll save your life. And number 5, yes, you are emotionally contagious. Each and every day, you and I have decided that we're going to have this condition of inverse paranoia. And the signs and symptoms of inverse paranoia are really wonderfully loving and kind. This world is aching to see you and I rise up. And this idea of emotional contagion is simply the idea that the way that we show up to the world becomes a catalyst. It is contagious. People want what we're having, not because we're cooler or we're more awesome. It's because we're feeling a sense of love and lightness and compassion. And that is one of the most contagious emotional connections that I actually believe is deeply spiritual. So, gentlemen, that you sent me this morning, that wonderful email, you're right. I am on something. I am on a quest for love and a quest for purpose. And yes, I am suffering with deep passion for always wanting to create something that transcends reason. And my reason for being is what they say. And the prognosis of this condition, from the Greek word katanos, may I live and may you live well beyond 100 by never acting like an old crotchety person. You live well beyond 100 because your life is full of light. Woohoo! So with that, we'll talk about chocolate another time. I love you. I appreciate you. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.